brand new. We also provide you 1,500, I think, maybe almost 2,000 templates on posts and carousels and reels and stories and everything, and a 95% done for you business coming probably next week, where we have a full sales funnel for you and you're in charge of, and we teach you how to drive traffic. But if you're not ready to build your own thing, if you're not ready to be an affiliate for Catalyst with your own email marketing, everything, we'll do it for you based on my 7-ish, almost decade of meta experience on highly converting copy. And so these are kind of the frameworks here, right? And I won't go too into it because I want to teach. I don't want to talk about Catalyst too much more. But starting is the business foundations. You will not need all of these, especially at any given time. But part of a business school or a school in general is that you select parts of the curriculum that are most prevalent or most relevant to you, I should say. So taxes, business formation, if you need it, it is there. And we help customize your curriculum. And there's such a sense of community that I don't think you'll have any issue kind of starting. And we even have a fast track to get you what you need just on the Instagram piece. Scaling is branding, virality, design, filming, copywriting, everything. Monetization, we all like that part, right? That's my favorite part. Sales psychology, the objection handling, all really understanding. Don't lose the sale. You're not selling, you are serving. So how can we show you how to actually accomplish that? Both mindset as well as objection handling and actually DM scripts. Automation, ads for beginners all the way to very, very advanced, content batching, a lot of done for you AI. So lots to come. But I just wanted to show you that's the 4 steps. Start, scale, monetize, and automate. Whoa, Brooke. Okay, I heard this is way too advanced, right? I'm not quite ready. If it were a month ago, maybe even a few weeks ago, I would have said, you know what? You're right. But we've made so many strides that I'm proud of as a community to make sure that that is no longer the case. Fast track, actionable daily rhythms checklists, workbooks, quizzes, customization, more community support. So if you have a question, it will be answered same day. You have the support in however your learning style is. Audio, visual, everything, experiential. And so I would much rather, maybe I will overwhelm you. I'm fine to admit that, but I would much rather overwhelm you with the coaching and the content and the support. So it's all in a hub. That beats the overwhelm, I think, of experimentation and exhaustion and burnout. And can someone please just tell me what I'm doing wrong? Okay, so let's jump into the algorithms and the growth piece. But first, I just want to kind of set expectations here. Movement to contact. I know you know this, but this is my biggest mistake that I hadn't done earlier, and I think helps all of our catalysts. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to do it wrong. The only failure, I promise you, is to stop. Eventually, if you're moving to contact over here and over here and over here, and you're like, nope, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, you will learn, I said 100, but I think 1,000 times faster just by being muddy in the arena than just watching clean on the sidelines, right? You can, with a metaphor, you can always recycle your clothes, but you can't actually recycle time or opportunities. So get in the arena and just try it. You can always delete the post, you can always archive it, or you can just start anew. So training the algorithms, as someone who has trained the algorithms, not the Reels algorithms per se, but the machine learning enforcement models at Meta, hear me out. And if there was a playbook behind the scenes of what Instagram business coaches should say and what they shouldn't say, I can assure you, just thinking about it now, this would definitely be in the do not say, you're going to lose a lot of money category, but I don't care because I think it's the right thing to do. I go off script all the time, but here it is. Yes, you should know how the algorithms work. Yes, the more knowledge you can equip yourself with about Instagram as a beginner, intermediate, advanced, of course, you're going to be more dangerous, right? You're going to be able to grow quickly. But I promise you, the vast majority of the time, it is about training your audience rather than the algorithms. The algorithms are they're very, very complex. But at the end of the day, they were built and are designed as derivative, right? They do if this, then this. And it's just a response to consumer behavior. So as hard as it is to admit for me and probably for all of us, 99% of the time, the low performance or a drop in reels or something shifting, of course it's easy to be, blame the algorithms or a setting or something that you switched on. I would rather get the hard truth out of the way now so that we can focus on what we can control. And frankly, I see this as a blessing in disguise, because the more that we can realize the scapegoat, like the blame center, is actually wrong, and that we're assigning blame to the wrong things that are out of our control, like, oh, Meta must have made an update, right? Maybe, but machine learning is by definition always updating. Different levels of severity, of course, but it's probably our content. There's something that's not clicking, and it's not just the caption or it's just the hook. It's how they come together. But we teach you exactly how to troubleshoot that, how to audit that, and how to overcome that very quickly and effectively within Catalyst. Myth busting, our favorite. So number one, shadow banning, not real. Feature limits are, I always say insta jail. You probably hear that a lot. That's very real. Don't get me wrong. But shadow banning is not. You're going to get a notification. You're going to get an alert. And there's no such thing as downranking without notice unless it's about resonance of your content, meaning your audience didn't like it. Boosting posts and ads don't hurt your organic growth. And just to be clear, boosting is vastly different than ads. So ads is a whole different ballgame. We teach that in depth, but boosting, they're both great, just different uses. Neither affect or are related to organic growth. I think you build your brand with organic posting, and you build your bank account with ads. Please do not hide SEO keywords in your video. This is called keyword stuffing. Of course, you can get away with it a little bit, and there are exceptions. But generally speaking, it is against our community guidelines that my team wrote. Just don't do it. You can edit after posting. I do it all the time. I'm like, oh, shoot, another typo. Always in a hurry. So you can do that. You can also design in Canva. I love designing reels where it pops out more in Canva. They don't hurt your performance because the SEO keywords are distributed, meaning the algorithms needing to know where to send your information. That is based on the caption and the video and other things, so don't worry about that. You can use, or I should say, you can use reels and stories and carousels on lives. Now, if you're a brand new beginner and you're like, Brooke, stop, I'm just trying to master reels. Don't try to take me in 10 different directions. Totally fair. But as you get at least comfortable, I encourage you to start before you're ready, really on anything, but start before you're ready on experimenting with new formats. Carousels are really hot right now. As of, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. Have they always been there? Pretty much. But there's something about the shift in consumer behavior. They're very easy to scroll for your user. They really can help with your brand. Lives are great to start getting used to your audience. There's a reason that Meta has invested hundreds of millions of dollars in each of these products, so use them. And then 2 more. Formulaic approaches, by definition, will not work. So I want to make this always, of course, as step-by-step as possible for you. But saying, like, engage with these types of accounts at this time of day, only do 5, and then do it for 10 minutes, I encourage that if it helps you build a routine that you can kind of check and be like, okay, cool. Like I did this for the day. I did what I can control. Now I can step back. I'm all for that. But there's a really subtle but important nuance and difference here, which is that framework by definition will not work, because again, it goes back to that wave, right? If the very beginning people do something, like I see this framework a lot in threads or sales where it's like, day X update of Catalyst, just as an example, and got Y result. It's like, okay, sure, that's quantifiable. It shows transformation. It's very clear of the transformation. That's great. But if the nth person does that, then it's very clear that there's a lack of making it your own. And so I encourage you to get inspired by those like recipes of sorts, but then really make it your own and understand why it's working, that root cause, rather than just the verbatim recipe itself. And then engagement strategy is more about networking. So again, just like this formulaic approach, it's wonderful to go network, but don't spend more time doing that more effort, more mind share, more focus than on actually building the content and researching. And I highly recommend thinking about, well, we'll go into this in a second, but engagement strategy, again, is more about networking. So if I want to, quote unquote, steal, not really, but, emulate the audience and have that same audience one day as Jenna Kutcher or Marie Forleo or somebody like that, then I'm going to go comment on and engage on their accounts more so because it's more impact. Actually, I have a good visual for you. Here we go. So let's say, there's no one algorithm. So the algorithm is a series of classifiers and processes and signals, right? It's just a machine. It's just a machine. We need to talk about the people side, the storytelling. And so if you think about this neural network, don't worry, don't lose me here. Don't lose me. I promise we'll keep it high level. But your account that you just started, or you're new, or you're struggling, you're right here, right? And your target audience is over here, if you can see my little cursor. Okay. And then again, this is just a metaphor. It kind of works like this. You have other competition and creators over here, maybe some personal accounts, and the industry leader in your niche. They've been around for months or years. They've accrued so much data. They have a lot of weight, right? Like they're the big shark in the water, and all of us are little fishes that just started, right? We want to go swim over to them. I don't know where I come up with this stuff. It's always on the fly. Sorry. But you go swim over to them and classify your account saying, hey, algorithms, I want to be known as Jenna Kutcher's type, like entrepreneurship, female founder, that kind of thing, right? It's not that going one-on-one to everybody in your target audience and engaging with them is wrong. It's just inefficient. So if you want a good hybrid strategy is sure, try this, but think about it as networking to potentially collaborate with people, to maybe sell if you're in the make money online space, right? That, of course, yes. But this connection right here is the most impactful to actually signal one and done to the algorithms like, hey, this is how I want to be seen. Go send my content to those kinds of people who are already hanging out there. Last thing I'll say about the algorithms before we move into captions and everything else. Please don't mistake correlation for causation. And what I mean here is correlation is like, oh, I had a drop in my Reels views. And look, I'm very guilty of this too. Like, oh, blame it. But correlation, I think a lot of what's taught out there is do this, do this, do this, or this button might have been why, or if you don't turn these settings on, it won't work. And that's, again, they're more like check boxes than they are impactful strategy. And the whole point of Catalyst is to get you to that end goal faster. So we check those off fast, and then we move to the big stuff, the big rocks, not the pebbles that are going to move the revenue, the growth to get you to 50, 70, 500,000 followers, as well as dollars per month, right? That's our goal. So we don't want to distract ourselves. Correlation is my Reels performance went down and I ran an ad. That's coincidence. But running the ad did not cause the Reels performance to go down. Same goes for refreshing your stories every 24 hours or, clearing your account. All that stuff is fine. It won't hurt you, but it also won't make or break you. So a number of hashtags or certain SEO keywords. I would strongly challenge and encourage you to find what works and then go copy and paste that framework of hashtags so you can focus on other things. Should I start a new account? This is always a big one. This is not exhaustive. We go through it in depth in Catalyst, but here's my lightning round version. When to start a new account is if you have bot followers that you've purchased, totally fine. I completely understand, but that will hurt your account because our community guidelines can detect that. Account restrictions. If it's not a monetization issue, that just means you're a new account. But if you have restrictions, as long as you're not, you don't have like months or years under your belt, probably good to start. Using a VPN to circumvent, to get around the systems, not good. Against community guidelines, we'll know, start a new account. Mass following or unfollowing in a very short period of time. You look like a bot, so our systems will catch on. DM restrictions. If this is a good proxy. Now, if you're hidden sometimes, it's okay. There's ways to get around it. But if your comments are hidden when you say really nice, genuine things on other people's posts and they're constantly hidden, it's not a good sign, but that's okay. We can solve for it. Using third-party tools. This shouldn't be an issue for most of us, but just wanted to call that out. And then, of course, multiple violations. When not to start a new account. I don't want to ever say you have to or you never. That's not how, it's not black and white, as much as that would be way easier to teach and to learn. But when to not to start a new account. Again, it goes back to that correlation causation. Find what's actually driving strong reels or bad performance, right? And then isolate that. And we teach you exactly how to do that. But if it's content performance issues, if you've seen a drop lately, don't start a new account. Nothing happened. There's just a consumer behavior shift. If you've blocked people, I've blocked people, I'll admit, occasional posting gaps, like if you don't post for a day or a week even, drops in engagement, fluctuations like that, or if you've even been posting for a long time and you don't see actual restrictions, if you truly believe it's better to just start fresh psychologically, I completely understand that. The last example or use case here is if you, let's say you're in Make Money Online or the digital affiliate marketing MRR space, right? If you are trying to empower X type of person to leave their job or to be a stay-at-home mom, parent, something like that, and leave whatever that end goal is, right? Ask yourself this. Did it really, like maybe I switched from one program to another, or I have more of like a wellness focus, whereas before I have like a financial independence focus. Maybe the storytelling changes, maybe the frameworks change, maybe how you want to get them to that transformation changes. But if the overarching type of person you are aiming to reach doesn't, don't feel like you need to change. So account setup, we go through this in a lot of depth, but for now, I'm gonna actually, please feel free, truly, to take a picture of this for your notes, whatever's gonna be helpful, screenshot, anything. But I won't actually go through all of these. Just know two things that not enough folks talk about, in my opinion. Highlights, we all have them. I don't know, including me, I'm guilty, if we all use them correctly. Make sure that it's simple and that it answers the who, what, when, where, and why, right? If I come to your page, I'm incredibly distracted. I'm like, oh, the kids are running there, the dogs are, I'm watching TV. How can you simplify it for me and only have one message per card, meaning like stories card in your highlight? Hi, I'm Brooke. This is my background. I love to do this. Here's how I can help you. See how it's very, very simple? Don't have too much text on there. And don't overwhelm with more than, I would say, 5 to 10 cards maximum in order. Now you can keep these fresh and, if you have promotions or something, keep those fresh. Testimonials are great, but don't, just know that people will drop off eventually. They'll tap, tap, tap and get the picture and get bored. So make sure to just keep it concise and keep your priority messages up front. And then pinned posts about me and how I want to be known, how I can help you. Have like a post or a carousel, design it in Canva, and then have those, you can't really see it here, but at the top, I like to have an about me, about Catalyst, and then some questions in a carousel, which is the multiple slides. Okay, so, I wish we had more time because I love to go through these exercises in depth, but I'll ask you this. I wrote a little hard on this before, but just get your pen and paper out if you'll indulge me. What is your manifesto? I think a lot of us, especially in the Make Money Online space, if I may speak for you guys, get lost on this one. And we talk about avatars and we talk about, my messaging is getting lost, or I don't know who I'm talking to. And it's because I think content creation is like a diary of sorts. It's a diary that you have to cater to the end person. It's weird. And so I would encourage you to not get lost, I'm guilty of it, in the lingo or the jargon, and instead just say, what am I doing? What are my core values guiding my decisions and my actions? What do I stand for? And frankly, what do I stand against? If I could share one message with the world, what would it be? And especially in Make Money Online, what event or precipitous moment or epiphany actually got me into this space? I hear a lot, or I see a lot in reels of, I saw a woman making X amount and I wanted to do it too. Yes, absolutely. However, where were you? What were you drinking a lemonade? What was it? The more richness and vivid detail that you can get into of that moment, the better. Because again, all of this is just piercing through the camera, through the lens, through the phone and saying, I was where you were X days ago, weeks ago, or I'm still in the thick of it, but here's what I'm doing about it. Let me help you. And you're like metaphorically passing back a baton to someone saying, here, let me help you out, right? So the more you can crystallize and really make them feel like they're there with you in that moment of transformation in any industry, weight loss, marriage, anything, that is going to be your crucial piece there. Like a Hollywood movie or a good book, you got to make it distilled. What do you feel most connected to in yourself? Like, is it cooking? Is it walking the dog? What are you seeking besides the money? Don't get me wrong. I'm going to do my best to get all of us to 100,000 followers, 100,000 days. Why not, right? But besides the money, why are we doing this? What are we actually seeking here? That took a lot of reflection for me, and it keeps changing. And I think that's okay. Creators, if you go look at their like log of their diary of sorts, that's what I'm calling it, their post grid, I find, including myself, that they don't really change their brand. They just become more of themselves. And if you look at my old posts, it was like black and neon pink, and it was like it was they're beautiful dark aesthetic out there. Don't get me wrong, it's stunning. And I tried that, but it's not me. I am selling freedom. That is what I want. I want the freedom of time. And so we've changed our aesthetic. And this isn't about me or my, catalyst, but think about the unraveling that goes into really finding and chipping away at all the things that you think you have to go do to be successful, and just get to the root, because that will fast track you instead of ping ponging to success. Like, oh, well, he did this and she did this. That can work sometimes. And if you want to just experiment, that's okay. But know that you're trying to get to that end destination of you. So it's an exercise in unraveling the knot more than pursuing the should. What do your friends, family, and colleagues come to you for advice on? How do you want to be remembered, and for what? Who are your role models, and what do you admire about them? It doesn't have to be in this industry. Whom are you talking to? This is something that I failed miserably in at the beginning, even though I've done this for years, right? It's different when you have to do it yourself. And I recognize that if you're a beginner. Remember this. Avatars are by definition not real people. I can't help but think of the James Cameron, movie. What is it? I think it's just called Avatar. But they're not people, right? They're cool, but they're not people. So your customer avatar, let's throw that jargon out the window and just say, who in your life or in Catalyst or in another program that you know, who are you talking to? And you immediately, at least I do, change my posture and my tone of voice, because I have that person, and it calms me down. Instead of being robotic and journalistic, it makes me be like, okay, I'm just going to go talk to her now. Demographic versus psychographic. Forget the words right now. Just know this. It's not about the age or the working environment or their skill level or where they live. It's about their fears, their relationship with money, what motivates them to buy. Are they practical, rational buyers? Like, oh, well, this value and then this price, right? Or are they impulse buyers? Like, I don't want to miss out. I'm a little bit of both. What have they tried in, let's say, make money online space, just as an example? What have they tried already that they're still blocked from their end goal? And then what questions do they have in a school community or threads? Go do that research and go look at what they're asking that you can come in and solve, and use that as an answer for your next post. That's how you speak directly to that person. So researching. We're going to go quickly through these, but please feel free to take pictures here. So here are just some tactics that I personally use, and I wanted to share with you just in case it's helpful. I want you to make it your own, but this is how I do research. So I set my timer, I set my clock, because I do go down rabbit holes. So step one is you go over to this magnifying glass here, this search. You type in, let's just say digital marketing. Then you're not going to actually see this right away. You have to scroll over and you have to click Reels. And then you're going to see this Explore tab of this grid of all these different Reels. Click on a Reel and then find one over 1 million plays, and do this repeatedly. And then save it to a dedicated collection. So I have digital marketing research, I have Instagram growth research, inspiration, etc. And then I save that by category. And then I actually go in. Catalyst has what is about to be, if not already, the biggest industry specific just database of every viral hook every day, every week, every month, right? And so it says, let's see, what did I put here? Hook, Instagram example link, views, visual format, and you can actually copy in your caption, copy in your hook, copy the length of the reel, everything. And then, sorry, there's a fire alarm at my house right now. That's weird. Okay, and then entering the prompt and caption into ChatGPT. So then I actually give you the full verbatim ChatGPT prompts, but actually putting that into ChatGPT, and then it will actually write the same caption that worked for this person in your own tone of voice because you've already trained it how to do that. Another way is actually just looking at popular audience. So if you go to your professional dashboard, which is right under your bio on your profile, then you go to inspiration. You can actually click inspiration and click popular with your followers or popular with your audience. And then this is like Meta handing it on a silver platter to us. So we have to be able to use this. And then go to save it in your folder by topic and then add it to that same Google Sheet. Okay, market research. Viral Finder is amazing. So I highly recommend just getting the free account, see if it's working. If not, don't worry. But you can you can actually have it analyze your engagement and see what works really fast and then go repurpose that content. You can look, I have like the Instagram for business hashtag, and then you have dedicated people whom you want to emulate or quote unquote steal their audience, right? Okay, content matrix. So we talked a little bit about what is your manifesto, right? As well as what is your avatar or who are you talking to? So my manifesto is life's too short to be stuck in a cubicle. Start the Instagram business already. And then your avatar, I mean, I go more in depth, but it's burnt out, wants to leave the matrix, but needs guidance and a cash reserve, hence our affiliate program, to move forward. So the content matrix is head, heart, and harness. And I won't go into all of these, but highly recommend having like practical authority building tips, how I accomplished the transformation, how somebody in my program accomplished it, and then, or just practical tips. If you're a beginner and you don't know, if you haven't sold yet, that's okay. Just say insane blank tip for this that it feels illegal to know. And then heart, the heartstrings, or relatability, that moment when. Find that point of connection and then speak about that. And then harness the viral memes into that. So this is my content matrix. And we'll get into content batching in 1 second, but new viral visual hooks here. So we have this spin shot. I'll show you. See how she took a gimbal, it's called, it's just a way to record, and she like spinned it over. If you can do an aerial shot, if you can put your phone on the ground, if you can spin it just with your wrist, I highly recommend if you're a face forward account. If you're a faceless account or face forward, CapCut and TikTok are game changers. And I feel like I can't say TikTok or TT or anything like that or talk on Instagram because I'm kidding, but like I'll get banned. But I'll say it here. TikTok is amazing for capturing early stage trends that haven't quite, as much as we don't want to admit it, haven't quite migrated over to Meta or Instagram yet. So definitely encourage you to just have a stealth TikTok account. You don't have to post if you don't want to, and go look at the research there. I think one trending one this week is my favorite animal is, right? Find that, know that it hasn't fully migrated to Instagram yet. And the second that you see it, jump in on it. CapCut templates are excellent. Writing, think like writing on a napkin, writing on a piece of paper. You can even do this as a faceless account, like a crossword puzzle, and say, Catalyst launches today or something like that. And then this is something that not many people talk about, but you can actually go and pretend as on Instagram as if you were creating a new reel, and then click templates in the top right-hand corner. And then Instagram, again, is giving you the full templates and just process right here, where I hate spending my time trying to get like 100 pictures and go boom, boom, boom. So it actually syncs it to trending audio for you. Again, game changer. Love that. Okay. Viral text hook. So this, I always like to change this every 1 to 2 weeks because things move quickly, right? And I always want to keep catalysts ahead of the curve. So this is what I'm forecasting for the second half of September, that if you're here, I might as well help you out too. If it's helpful, I'm not sure. First one is stop doing this if you want to achieve this, or I'm begging you to stop. I'm seeing that one a lot. Or how come no one's talking about this? If you're face forward, it's easier, but you can absolutely do that for faceless content too. Or it took me X amount of time, long time, to learn whatever topic, but I'll teach it to you in X seconds. Here we have, here's how you're not going to achieve desired outcome, basically listing all the things you shouldn't do. And then here's the thing. I like this one because it feels, especially when it's face forward, like they're there with you and you're just part of a naturally flowing conversation. Now, I had so much in here about captions, but we had to take it out for time. So bear with me, maybe in a future masterclass or just jump into Catalyst. But CTAs, we all know the mini chat, like comment this keyword and get this result. But here are two that no one talks about. Number one is post notifications. So here's the reason for both of these strategies. You will actually rank higher in their feed if you ask your followers at the end of your caption. So say higher likelihood of engagement, because if it's more higher in their feed, they'll engage with it more. And then of course, the algorithms will perceive your content to be really engaging. Then it will push it out, this flywheel effect, to new accounts. So this is a great one. No one uses this, and I think you should. So an example here would be, you write your caption, you give some value, some tips, right? And then you say, want more insider tips? Turn on notifications for my account. And then you can say bell icon in top right of profile. You won't be disappointed. And just to show you how to do it, if you want to do it for other people, go to this bell icon here. You can turn on posts, stories, reels, or even broadcast channels for that person. And then they will be prioritized in your feed. The second one that no one's using, and I think that you should, is add it to favorites. So let's say you're already following someone. Same concept applies. You're going to rank higher in their feed, so the higher likelihood of engagement, and then you'll be pushed to new accounts, growing fast, getting more leads and more sales, right? So you could say, here's an example, comment Catalyst to get your ticket for a masterclass. Pro tip, add my account to your favorites, click follow, then add to favorites to be the first for these insider tips. Make sure in any call to action, I think we lose the meaning sometime. I say CTA probably 1,000 times a week. And so remember, it is a call to arms. It is a call to action. You're incentivizing someone to just, instead of saying, that was helpful, thanks, and saving it, make them take that next step in the sales journey with you. You have to incentivize them by being incredibly specific and incredibly lowering the energy level. Don't make them guess on how they're going to get the information. You have to be really specific. If you comment this word, I will immediately DM you this great benefit and you'll get this. Make it about them. So be specific, be concise, be clear, and actually use emojis to block, to have symmetry there. See how I have these two little megaphones to bring the eye to that in the call to action? That's actually, it sounds trivial and silly, but it really works. Okay, batching script. We're almost there, and then we're going to move to the sales piece and wrap up. But batching, I hear a lot about, this takes me too much time. It will at first, but I want to help you save time and spot opportunities early to become efficient. So batching your script, I just wanted to show you, no, I actually haven't even posted these yet, but figured we're all friends here. So I have my hashtags and my SEO. I use them pretty much depending on if I'm talking about AI, if I'm talking about Instagram growth, or building a business. I have typically 3 content categories. And so I actually have this hooks and captions. I showed you my Google sheet that we all have as catalysts of viral hooks and how to do the market research. But now let's bring it to the next step, which is batching your own content. So we'll talk about rhythms in a second, but I highly recommend having a Google Doc or a Word doc or some single repository where you can copy and paste this over time. Or again, like I showed you earlier, you can copy and paste someone else's. Please be ethical and do not plagiarize. Train the ChatGPT with the prompts that I can give you inside Catalyst and say, here's my background, here's my avatar, here's my offer, here's my mission, here's my tone of voice, right? All of that. And I know I'm going fast here, but you've trained the ChatGPT on it so that when you copy somebody else's caption, you can make sure that it really is in your own voice, and then you can add it. So that's one way to get captions really fast. Another way is you can use that, copy it from ChatGPT and put it in this Google Doc. And then of course, repurpose. There's nothing wrong with repurposing, especially if you're in a crunch for time. Going back to our earlier point about how the majority comes down to hooks, text and visual hooks, that you can't convert someone to a lead or a sale if you haven't caught their attention first, right? You have to harness it before you can convert it to a sale. And so what I recommend is to repurpose captions to save you time. Have like a set amount, maybe 3, maybe 5, maybe 10 every few months. It just depends on where you are in your journey. And then you can repurpose them weekly or bi-weekly. It really just depends. And then experiment with different hooks, different visual hooks, and different calls to action. See what works best, and then you can redo the captions. Because people, I used to think, oh, well, what if somebody realizes? I think that was probably pretty cocky of me. No one's going to remember. Sometimes I don't even remember what I posted about in my caption, much less somebody who's, scrolling quickly. So that's a Google Docs suggestion there. Organizing content. So I actually you're getting the raw view here. You have my husband's birthday, some wedding favorites, sorry, but might as well show you. So I have photo albums here. I have testimonials. I have stories pictures like from Canva or content banks or my own life pictures. I have talking head where I'm talking directly to the camera. B-roll, meaning just daily, me drinking coffee on a trip, B-roll footage. And then I have content bank videos, all of these in different folders so that when I need to sit down and I don't have that much time, then I can be very diligent about, okay, I need to post a few stories about testimonials. And I've used these before, but I'm going to tap through because I've already made them in Canva. Or, oh, I want to share a quote that I just found or just share a picture today, but I want it to look very aesthetic or, talk about my new offer. I encourage you to figure out what you do more than once a week and then figure out a way to streamline it. That's why I love having these different photo albums. Speaking of daily and weekly rhythms, Yeah, I think I spelled, sorry. But I think having, we go very in depth in this, but having like an illustrative, just an example here. So on Mondays, what kind of work, if you're going into the work week, maybe you don't have that much time, what can you do to set yourself up later? Save trending audio over and over. Add 10 reels in that market research to your Google Sheet tracker that you can copy later. Have some ChatGPT prompts where you actually script all your captions out. Post 6 to 7 stories that you've actually built from the prior week with, catalyst intro or a motivational quote that you already built in Canva and saved to your photo album, and then actually have those stories. I don't think you need 10 a day for stories. I think a morning greeting, a routine. I think my friend Miko Money does this really well. He's a beast at the gym. So he always shows himself at the gym and it becomes a routine. Remember, you're not training algorithms, you're training your audience. So I know to expect that. Is there a morning routine like coffee or a dog walk or something, kids, that you can train your audience as a morning greeting? Then transition into inspirational quote or some sort of engagement like a Q&A, the poll question stickers in your stories. Then in the middle of the day, I would focus your stories on adding value. Is there a trending audio? Did you learn something in Catalyst or another program that you can actually share with the group? All these different things. Then it comes to the offer in the afternoon and evening. Ask them a question about their pain point. Like, are you struggling with time efficiency too? Great. Here's the tip I learned, and here's how all the catalysts are actually applying that and getting these results. That's typically the good story arc for stories. So then you have authority reels, transformational reels. Tuesdays, you can film your B-roll. You can film all your content. Wednesdays, you can edit with CapCut. I highly recommend BigVu. It's a funny name, but BIGVU. If you do face forward content, I'm just chatting with you right now and I never have notes. But sometimes to avoid the number of cuts or takes that I have to do for video, I love BigVu because it is a teleprompter, meaning you can see your words in your script on the screen and look directly at the camera. It's a big time saver. You can plan your Canva carousels or stories ahead of time. Again, we have almost 2,000, I think, done for you templates, so you can just use those if you want in Catalyst. Instagram Live. So have kind of a cadence, not because the algorithms require it, but because I think it will lessen the amount of, I call it decision fatigue. It just means like if you're always starting from scratch, it gets exhausting. So how can we identify patterns that you can do once really well and then replicate over time? All right. I have no sense of what time it is, so we'll just do a sales one and then we'll wrap up. Just know this, when you're selling, unfortunately, I had a bunch of slides about, selling in stories and selling in all these different parts, but just know this. whether you're on Threads, whether you're in DMs, I have scripts for you in Catalyst. There's this, I know I'm cheesy, but there's a problem peninsula and solution sands, right? It sounds like a hotel destination. I don't know, but you're going to hear, I just always like this visual. You might be a beginner. You may not have made any sales yet. You might not have the transformation that you are effectively offering or selling, but that's okay. I know I briefly mentioned this earlier, but just know people, of course, you're going to get more credibility and bonus points. Of course, if you yourself have demonstrated that, that transformation. But just know that what this person wants right here is just to know that it does work for them, that they can do it, that it is possible, and in a low risk way. So let's say you have this bridge over here and you're over here and this is your customer. They're going to say something like, this seems like a scam, or I've been burned before, I've been ghosted before, I don't have the money right now. Yes, but I'm going to wait. I don't have the time. I think I'm just going to quit. This is not for me. I did this to be with my family and it's now taking away more time, right? And that's all very true because perception is reality. You might have broken through this veil of sorts, this obstacle, this blocker, this mindset, or whatever it might be, but you did it anyway. And so the more that you can compare yourself and really have genuine, not because it's a manipulative way to close the sale. No, we serve over sell. Remember, if you can guide them to a decision, it doesn't have to be your product or working with you, but if you can empower them with the information and the confidence to make a decision, regardless of what it is, or you can even refer them to someone else that you think would solve their problem better, I promise, not just karma, but that will undoubtedly make sure that you have the brand, and just ethically it's the right thing to do, but also it will empower them and help you feel more confident in being louder in your selling because you're just doing the right thing and getting them across this bridge. So if they're stuck with Instagram growth, maybe you are or were too, but you are actively seeking a solution that you believe will help them. Remember, it's this baton that you're passing back again. So how can you think about that? Remember, make sure that you paint yourself as the same, but the only difference, because it's true, is that you took the action anyway. So this is goofy, I know, but I was having chicken nuggets yesterday. I was like, I like this. So everyone sells chicken nuggets, right? Everybody has the same product in some way, regardless of industry. I have a gym. I'm going to help you lose weight. I have a cookbook. I'm going to help you become a better cook. I'm a counselor. I'm going to help you have a better marriage. I'm going to, whatever that might be, or I'm going to help you make money online with this program. Everybody sells chicken nuggets, but what is your special sauce? So think about that. Think about the manifesto. Think about that it's not an avatar, it's a human being. Think about the research tips. How can you make it more efficient? All of this is going to be so crucial. So thank you for sticking with me. We'll go into a lot more sales if you join Catalyst. We have so much on that to really make sure that you're equipped with those DM and stories scripts. All right, I am going to reveal the surprise bonuses. And then Romy, our head of angel operations, is going to moderate the chat for Q&A. Okay, number one, in no particular order, 3 of you and the affiliates that brought you here, because I want to honor them for kind of spreading the word and hopefully helping you out too, and bringing you across that bridge, right? Is you are going to win a full one-on-one strategy audit with me. If you don't have an account yet, that's fine. If you don't have a business idea yet, that's fine. If you are promoting other products to get that cash reserve, that's great too. Strategy is what is going to be best for you. And we're going to make it completely customizable to you. I prepare a lot in advance, and then we go step by step in a very bespoke way to make sure that you get the answers that you need. So not only will you, I'll call you a future catalyst or customer, get that, but your affiliate will too, because I want to honor them. So that's one. Everybody, I should mention, this is for everyone until September 16th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. So I'm just outside New York City, so Eastern time. So that's anybody who buys before 11:59 p.m. on the 16th. Another bonus, because I like to load it up, is one new customer actually is going to get a scholarship. I thought of this more recently, and I think it's really important. This is already, if we do say so ourselves, a 10th, a 15th of the price that I probably could or should have commanded for this program. But it's really important to me, going back to what I said, why I did this to begin with, is for the aspiring entrepreneur who doesn't have those cash reserves yet and has the appetite. If you have the appetite and you're willing to show up and work with us, we want to give you the resources at an affordable price, right? And so in that vein, I want to make sure that we give one of you a scholarship. So free, full, forever, lifetime of the program access to Catalyst as it evolves. And you guys always make fun of me. Don't think I don't see you on threads. We're like, Brooke needs to sleep. Like we drop stuff, we evolve so much. Yes, because that is the pace of entrepreneurship. Doesn't mean you have to go through it all the time. But I want you to know that wherever we are today, it's not static. It's going to continue to evolve. So having that lifetime access is going to be really important for free. I want to equip you with the tools. And then anybody who is on the call here, actually, whoop, whoop, okay, hold on. So let me pause myself. I get too excited and then run around. But if you want to purchase and actually engage this before I reveal the one on live, just know this is the QR code. You can actually get out your phone, any kind of phone, have the camera open and just hover over this QR code and a link should pop up. If that doesn't work for you, no problem at all. It's called https:// but it's brookesheltonofficial.com. That's how to purchase Catalyst if you want to try it. We do have a 48-hour refund policy, which for this type of business program, I have not seen another refund, but we are that confident. And that's why we provide you that de-risk, because we want to make sure that you see the value. It's hard to describe, and I wanted to make this more teaching than pitching, although we did speak about it a bit at first. So just try it. And if you don't like it, zero harm, zero foul. I do sincerely appreciate you spending the time here now, but also at least just giving it the chance. So that's how, but really important note, if an affiliate invited you, please honor them by purchasing with them. We don't yet have an embedded webinar where they can send you the link. We're working on that, but just know it's really important to me. This is easy. If you did find out about it with me or from me, of course, please go ahead. I would appreciate that. But it really is important to uphold and honor the fact that the affiliates brought you here and are working hard to do that and to share this opportunity with you. So don't do this QR code. If you have an affiliate that you want to honor, go check out their link. They'll send it to you. All right. Now I can actually get back to my extra bonus. So everybody is eligible up until 11:59 on the 16th for you and your affiliate who brought you here, if anybody. If not, you get two, why not? Or we'll open up to somebody else. But that's a one-on-one strategy auto with me. And one of you will get a scholarship. We're going to have everybody purchase, and then we'll refund you when the winners are announced. But if you're on this live right now, or the YouTube streaming right now, because we're maxed out when we launched, you're going to get a 3-hour interactive sales mastermind and role play with me, where we actually go back and forth, and it's all there. It's an entire mastermind boot camp. It's not even 3 hours, it's more of, I would say I put 70-50 value, but somebody told me like 1,500, because it's really in depth. And if you are serious about making sales, even if you're a small account or a large account, this is going to be the unlock. Catalyst already goes in depth, but this takes it to a whole other level, truly. So if you want to be there and actually see how we demoed it back and forth, we already opened it up once for people who joined the beta group in June. So I highly encourage you to jump in and grab not just one, but all 3 of those bonuses. All right. Thank you so much. Romy, I'm going to open us up for some questions in the chat. Well, we'll keep it short, and then I'll see you in Catalyst.
Awesome. Thanks, Brooke. The chat has been on fire, and thanks to all the Catalysts already answering questions, but we just pick a few, the rest we can answer in Q&As. The first one is, how can you recover from having a strike against your account? Are you at risk for monetization?
Oops, give me 1 second. I messed up the QR code. Oh well. It's brookesheltonofficial.com, everybody, if you need that. I was going to keep it on the screen, but I can't grab it right now. So sorry, Romy, can you repeat that question?
How can you recover from having a strike against your account, and are you at risk for monetization?
Okay. So actually, I'll start with the second part. So monetization is usually completely distinct and has a lot more to do with the time that has elapsed on your account. Like if you're brand new and it's only been a few weeks, more so than any restriction that you've faced or not. So it's really misleading and confusing. Our feedback for our product teams. But if you see that in your account settings or status, just know it's only because you're a new account, and that will subside and go away once you pass, I don't know, it's like the 6 or 8 week mark, when you have extra scrutiny, when Meta's like watching you to make sure that you're not a bot or what we call a bad actor, just not good, right? So that's a monetization piece. It will not be an issue. It actually has nothing to do with the ability to make money or drive customers to an audience and make money that way. Again, it's very confusing. What it really means is that you're not eligible to earn directly from Meta, like subscription bonuses. But guess what? I make very little on those. Like it's like 100, it's not worth it, and you don't need it right now. On the restrictions piece, it really does depend on what restriction you received. But if it's usually what happens with a new account is you'll comment too much in one sitting, or you will do something too quickly in one sitting. So if that's the case, don't do any comments or DMs within 72 hours.
Awesome. Shall we do 2 more quickly? One is, what is the difference between deleting and archiving posts? Why is one better than the other?
Archiving keeps it on hand. It's like hiding it in the secret library vault that you can see, but it doesn't count toward your like post total. But then if you're like, oh wait, no, I actually did want that, right? Or if you want to repurpose it in the future with some tweaks, you still have it accessed. Deleting, gone from the radar. There's no real benefit, except I don't like irreparable damage that much, so I prefer to archive more than delete. Neither affect your account. Happy to do, or you can do both. But yeah, I would say go for it. If you're embarrassed, hopefully knowing that option is there will help you just post the reel, knowing that you can always take it down later.
Awesome. And then a juicy one for the last. When you say inactive, does that just mean posting or engagement included? I have a new account and have been training the algorithm for a month, commenting, getting followers, hiding things that don't align with my niche, but I have not posted. Should I start a new account?
The short answer is yeah, probably. Probably. Yeah, I think that's good.
That is
There's always so much nuance that floats through my head, but I'm like, yeah, probably. That's a good way to go. Sorry, guys. I was a little distracted. I was trying to get the QR code. I see it popping in the chat. It's brookesheltonofficial.com, or of course your affiliates too. Give me 1 second, Romy, to just pull this back on screen for everybody, and then we'll do one more bonus. Why not, for everybody? Can you all see that? Nope, that's okay. All right. Okay, give me one more question, Romy. Go for it.
all right. Why does Instagram not drop all the features at once? I still can't write on carousels. I had new fonts, then they went away again.
Yes. So the font feature isn't that great. There's not that much functionality. Unfortunately, they're ever evolving, and I would say they're just normal product updates. What happens is we actually randomly assign our product teams randomly assign different fonts to different people. So don't worry about it if it goes away or not. I highly recommend just using Canva for the fonts at all times. And then, or you can just use the native Instagram. We are going to get better at that. I talked to some friends, but don't worry too much about it.
And very last one, is the price $299 USD lifetime access?
Right now, yes, but that will be changing soon. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you everybody so much for staying a little bit long. We really appreciate it. We will share this recording. Remember, if you buy now on brookesheltonofficial.com or your affiliates link, you will get, you'll be eligible for all 3 of those bonuses. That third bonus, you have the scholarship eligibility, you have the audit, the strategy call with me eligibility, and then you have that extra bonus too of the sales mastermind. That last one though is only if you get it today. The rest is until Monday, the 16th at 11:59 p.m. I'll give you right till the very last second. But thank you all very, very much, and see you inside. All right. Have a good night. Bye.